Hey there! Let's talk about something you might not expect from a kitchen staple, rice. We all think of rice as a healthy, versatile food, but did you know that it can sometimes harbor hidden dangers in the form of heavy metals? Yep, metals like arsenic, cadmium, lead, and even mercury can sneak into rice due to environmental pollution, soil composition, and certain farming practices. How do heavy metals get into rice? Rice is a bit of a magnet for heavy metals, especially arsenic. This happens because rice is usually grown in flooded fields, also known as paddies. In these low oxygen conditions, arsenic in the soil and water becomes more mobile, making it easier for rice plants to absorb it. Plus, if the water used for irrigation is contaminated, something that can happen in regions with high natural arsenic levels or industrial pollution, the rice ends up taking in even more of these metals. And it's not just arsenic, cadmium, lead, and even trace amounts of mercury can find their way into rice from polluted soil, fertilizers, and pesticides. What's the difference between brown and white rice? When it comes to arsenic, brown rice usually has higher levels than white rice. That's because arsenic tends to accumulate in the bran layer, the outer part of the rice grain, which is removed during the milling process that produces white rice. So, while brown rice might offer more nutrients, it can also come with a higher heavy metal load. But don't worry, there are ways to reduce your exposure. Health effects: why should we care? Heavy metals in rice can be a big deal if you're exposed to them over a long time. Here's a quick rundown. Arsenic: chronic exposure can increase the risk of various cancers, like skin, lung, and bladder cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and even developmental issues in kids. Cadmium: this metal can cause kidney damage, weaken your bones, leading to fractures and osteoporosis, and has even been linked to cancer. Lead: especially harmful to children, lead exposure can result in developmental delays, learning difficulties, and lower IQ. In adults, it can contribute to high blood pressure, kidney damage, and reproductive problems. Mercury: while less common in rice than in fish, mercury can still affect the nervous system, leading to cognitive issues and, in severe cases, neurological damage, an important concern for pregnant women and young children. What types of rice and rice products are we talking about? Brown rice tends to have higher arsenic levels because the bran is still intact. White rice contains lower arsenic levels, but you might miss out on some of the nutrients found in brown rice. Rice-based products, foods like rice cereals, rice milk, rice crackers, and rice pasta can also have significant arsenic content, especially if they're made from brown rice. Wild rice, often a safer alternative with generally lower levels of heavy metals, though it can vary depending on where it's grown. Why does rice accumulate so much arsenic? How can you reduce your exposure? Don't worry, there are practical steps you can take to enjoy your rice while minimizing heavy metal exposure. Rinse thoroughly: rinse your rice several times before cooking to help remove surface arsenic. Cook with extra water: use a larger water-to-rice ratio, 6:1, then drain the excess water after cooking. This method can reduce arsenic levels by up to 50%. Mix it up: diversify your diet by incorporating other grains such as quinoa, barley, or oats. This way, you won't rely solely on rice. Choose wisely: look into where your rice is coming from. Rice grown in regions with lower pollution levels tends to have less heavy metal contamination. Filtered water: if you're in an area with high levels of arsenic in the tap water, try cooking with filtered water. Rice is a beloved staple for millions, but it's good to be aware of its potential downsides, especially regarding heavy metal contamination. By understanding where these metals come from and how they can affect our health, you can make smarter choices about the types of rice you buy and how you prepare them. Plus, minor tweaks like rinsing your rice and cooking with extra water can go a long way in reducing your exposure. So, next time you sit down to enjoy a bowl of rice, you'll know more about what's in your food and how to keep your meals as safe as they are delicious. Stay informed, eat wisely, and take charge of your health. In the meantime, you can begin thinking about naturally detoxing using scientifically researched supplements such as HMD. Check out www.heavymetaldetox.org.